I like that you're like, is this live?
So I can screw up.
Yeah, of course you
Okay.
can. Oh yeah, you're all good. That's it. And everyone knows too with the lightning round. So these are 10 questions sent in by the listeners, and everyone knows you have not seen them before. So it's kind of just top of your head, fun, light questions.
Okay.
Okay,
Brace
cool.
yourself.
Here we go. All right. So one accomplishment you would like to achieve in the next year.
I would like to write and record a couple new tunes.
Cool.
Like not theater, not job, not
Awesome.
just sort of back to the egg.
Back to the cool.
Yeah.
Did you? I mean, I'm sure.
I did that a lot in the 80s.
Sweet.
Late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, it's a great way of. I think it's always important, whether it's for something or not, to have those other things outside, those creative outlets outside of the work that you have to be doing.
Yeah.
It's just a way to keep yourself fresh.
It's sort of a hobby, but kind of related.
Definitely.
It's just a reason to buy some gear.
Yeah, totally. So what is one item you would like to have an unlimited supply of?
Item?
Yeah, anything.
Like tangible?
Sure. Yeah.
A tangible thing?
Ooh, you're getting all fun.
I was going to get heavy on you. An item that I would like to have an unlimited supply. I'm going to say this new hummus that I've discovered.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
It's from Planet Organic. I can't even think of the name, but it's
good hummus.
Changed them. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm doing some new life eating.
Were you telling me you weren't doing dairy anymore?
Yeah, I'm not. This is like week 5, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah. No dairy, no sugar,
Amazing.
no salt.
Yeah. Well, and hummus is a great thing for. My girlfriend is actually she can't do dairy, and she puts hummus on everything. Like it's such a good switch for those kind of things.
And this one is just like doesn't taste like another hummus. Like this was like, oh my god, this is life changing. I can put this on just about anything and make it rock.
Yes.
So it's helping me not eat all that other stuff.
Definitely.
So
cool. Hummus. So I have this red plaid shirt that I always bring with me whenever I go on contract.
Okay.
Didn't wear it today.
Okay.
But what is
But
one...
I have seen it.
Yes, totally. Okay. Yeah. What is one item or one article of clothing or something you always pack when you go away traveling?
Yeah, I'm a slob. So I have several no way should be worn in public sweatshirts, sweats, t-shirts that are just that
you're comfy.
That have been dipped in every ocean and just they're not for human consumption.
I love it.
And I will pack some of those. Yeah. And maybe stay in the hotel room. Yeah. Maybe make it down for breakfast in the morning. They awesome. Do get some live mileage.
They get some show. Yeah. That's funny. What is one movie you think needs to be turned into a musical or play?
Okay. I have a bunch of joke answers, but let's see. A movie.
Movie, yeah.
It should be a musical.
It could be a play as well if you would prefer.
Okay, I'm just going to try, but because there's so many great movies that I can think of that don't translate that well.
100%.
Yeah, here I'm gonna change this up. I'm gonna give you the answer to what you're looking for, but it's a movie that's already been made into a musical.
Okay,
but not successfully.
You think it needs another try? Yeah,
it needs another try, and it's one of the best movies. I'm just gonna quiz you now. It's largely in the top 10 of movies all time, and usually at the top if you're picking comedies. In other words, everybody talks about Citizen Kane, The Godfather.
Yeah, I was just going to say
1 and 2, and the great Shawshank and the great movies. This is always the highest ranking comedy.
What is it?
And it's been made into a musical, but
not successfully.
And the movie is Some Like It Hot.
Oh,
so Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, Marilyn Monroe, right?
Yeah.
So it's an amazing movie, and they did make it a musical called Sugar.
Oh, okay, interesting.
How many times have you heard of that being produced?
I'm going to be honest, not once.
Yeah, that's a problem. You should be able to take a story about musicians.
Yeah.
traveling on a train and gender flipping, and you should be able to make a musical out about that. So.
Well, that's the amazing thing too, is that sometimes all the pieces can look like they're going to line up, and they just don't. Like it's like you were saying with certain, like the shows we were talking about before on the podcast. Yeah. Sometimes it can be an amazing composer, but it's just not the right fit or whatever it might be.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. So after time away, for if you're traveling for work or with anything, what is the first thing you like to do when you get home? Put on the sweats again.
Take my sheepdog for a walk.
Oh, cool. Yeah. What's your sheepdog's name?
Charlie. Charlie's a girl.
Oh, Charlie's a girl.
Charlie's a girl. Named after the perfume.
Oh, amazing.
Before your time.
How dare.
There was a big perfume in the 70s called Charlie.
Amazing.
I think that's why she's named Charlie.
I think that's awesome. If you could pick, kind of in a similar vein, one band or artist to make a musical out of their music, which one would you do?
Ooh. Well, I'm all about the Beatles and McCartney. But I've also learned the hard way that nobody's jumping on that. There's a reason. I mean, it's a hard story to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did the Icon series in 2 parts, and the first part was, fun and bouncing back from this gig to that gig. There were famous gigs at Sullivan, Candlestick Park, Hamburg, whatnot, the Cavern. Mm-hmm. But part 2 is just like, Jesus, how do you make a story out of this? Like, these guys, in the studio doing what they did, it's all brilliant, but it doesn't mean it's going to make for good theater.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
I mean, if you're looking for a score, I mean, from Peppers to Abbey Road, like those 3 years, there's nothing like it. Never has been. But I don't think it would make for good theater. So if I go back to your original question, I digressed and said, what
band or artist,
or person? Because they're doing a lot of that right now, and of course we do that. Mm. You know what? That's tough because the story needs to be there.
Yeah, totally. Because you want to care about the art. Yeah,
we've done sort of these shows where there was no shortage of hits, but the characters were just like, mashed potatoes. There was just like nothing going on there, right?
Totally, yeah.
Where you need failed people.
Yeah, a flawed hero.
You need that, and then in a dynamic story. So, I'm not sure. I'm gonna pass on that and think about it.
Yeah.
The one that I was thrilled that somebody made was the folk one, and of course it was the Coen Brothers because they're amazing. Help me out. It's about the Greenwich Village folk scene. Oh. It's a really obscure name and a very obscure artist.
Oh, interesting.
But he was like sort of the Wayne Gretzky of that scene.
Interesting.
And nobody knows about it, including me who saw the play, so I'm embarrassed that I can't remember it. But it's an odd title, but it was great because it told the story of a period of time, like in Greenwich Village in New York, in that scene before Dylan, who became the Wayne Gretzky of that. So the pre-Dylan, the guy that sort of
interesting. I'll link it. It's funny. A lot of podcasts that I listen to, there's a third person that always sits there and is the Google whiz, Google and stuff. And I've thought that'd be cool to have that because then we could just be like, hey, what's that thing?
The wrong names popping into my head. There was a famous movie years ago called The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz, which was Richard Dreyfuss's breakout movie. But it's just such a weird ass name that The Apprenticeship. It's just like. Curtis Llewellyn.
I'll take it.
That's gone.
That's perfect. Yeah. So, what is the last series, album, or podcast that you binged? Something like a show or a movie or something that you watched?
I'm gonna say, it's easy. Being a good Brit, The Crown.
Oh yeah, people are going crazy for The Crown.
It's just. Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
Yeah, the acting's great. The writing's great.
Totally. What is a show that you would love another crack at?
Musical theater, like have another show stab at it. I've been lucky. I got a couple cracks at Superstar. We did it in '94, and then we did it again in 2017. So, What show? Well, here it's tricky because I would say West Side Story or Sweeney Todd.
Ooh, yeah.
But that's the musician talking.
That's the musician
talking.
Yeah.
So and that's my struggle. It's just like nope, can't do that. Can't do that. Certainly, to play Sweeney Todd was a trip, and West Side Story. So I would love to do those things. I've done them, but not at this theater.
Fair.
So I would love to do those shows again at this theater. Sound of Music. I'm just going to get all schmaltzy on you here, but Sound of Music is a great thing, and we did it back in the '90s, late '90s.
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing show. I have to think about that.
And this next question is funny because it kind of relates to a lot of what we're talking about. So I feel like I know the answer. But one show that you love, but it's kind of like that you would never want to be in. But for you, it would be kind of like a show that you like to admire from afar. One you don't think you would do, but that you really love.
Meaning here at the Mayfield. Well, I'll tell you that there's a bunch. That play that I said I saw in the UK, A Woman in Mind.
Yeah.
It was such an amazing story. And so to hear that, it's like reading a great book and then seeing the movie.
Yeah.
So I saw this play and it just blew my mind. And then I went and saw Next to Normal. And in fairness, I didn't see a great production.
Yeah.
Because I'm told the New York production was amazing.
Yeah.
But I would like to Fun Home.
Yeah, that's what I thought you would say.
Fun Home is really moving for me. The subject matter is important to me, and the orchestrating, like just from a musician's point of view. So never mind the story. Like I said, I went and saw it from a proper vantage point, and it was sitting like two seats to the left of me and one row down.
Ooh.
Like I could have reached out. Was Angela Lansbury.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and she's like 90 watching Fun Home. And I was just like, hang on. Like she was like the first person up standing. It was brilliant.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fun Home is that's one I would love to do. And I'm just trying to think if there's something I've seen on West End or Broadway that I can't do. I'm going to say Fun Home. I'll leave it there.
And then this is the last one of the lightning round. What is the first movie quote that comes to your head? 1, 2, 3, go.
First movie quote?
Yeah.
Stella.
I
guess that's the one word answer.
That's a nice, clear and concise vote. That's perfect. That's a great one.
You know what? Can I come up with another one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my God, what's her name? Diane? Or Al Pacino goes, no, her name's Kate. He's Kate. Don't ever ask me about my business.
My business. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
When she said, but this one time, did you kill your brother?
Yeah.
No.
No. Is that Godfather? No.
Yeah, Godfather 2.
Amazing.
Don't ever ask me about my business.
I love it. All right. Well, that is the lightning round. I will pause this and shut that all off. Great job.